The story starts in late September when my family went to go visit our relatives who invited us up to celebrate with one of them, getting like $2,000 in some scratch-off lottery thing. They live in this really fucking shitty part of Shenandoah that some people from Charlestown, Shepherdstown and Ranson like to call Squalor Holler. It's way up in the mountain, and exactly how everyone pictures it when they hear about nothing but ramshackle shacks, rusty-ass rebuilt tailors, everything covered in fucking decades-old Christmas decorations because they're all too busy being smelly rednecks to ever clean up. Real deliverance shit, just no rivers or canoes. The relatives we are visiting are absolutely confirmed inbreeders, all cousins fucking each other. We don't refer to them as aunt, uncle, whatever, just relatives. Not terrible people or anything, just absolutely cartoonish, depressing hillbilly stereotypes. So anyway, we're up here in this godforsaken trailer. It sucks. There's like 8 of them, plus me, my mum, my dad, and my sister. About 2 hours in, my mum takes my cell phone so that I can focus on the family time together. Which is bullshit because all we did was eat dinner and be forced to watch NASCAR and shit. After like 6 hours of this bullshit, about 10 minutes before we're supposed to leave, it starts raining. We know how treacherous the roads can get up on the mountain, so we decide to wait for the rain to die down. Flash forward 2 hours later, it's fucking dark as hell. 10 o'clock and there's a flood warning for the area. I have my phone back by this time. No reception, though, of course. I'm playing Tetris in Texas Hold'em when suddenly I hear my dad losing his shit in the next room. I walk over, and it turns out they let slip they buried their kid, Thomas, outside, and were apparently afraid that the rain would wash his body up or some horse shit. The kid was like 6. He was attacked by his dog, and they never told the cops. Just fucking buried him like it was a family pet. My dad's flipping his shit, and rightfully so, because, you know, we live in the 21st century and all, so our relatives all say they'll sort it out in the morning. My parents tell me and my sister to stay in the same room as them during the night, and we do. None of them really suspected they'd killed Thomas or anything, since they're really peaceful. They didn't even own any guns aside from this one old-timey double-barreled shotgun they had on the mantle. Nevertheless, we would creep the fuck out, intended to tell the cops in the morning once we got to town. So, it was like 3 in the morning, I couldn't sleep. Power had gone out for the 5th time or so, and I'm not able to charge my dead phone. Worst part is, I could see Thomas's little grave outside the window. Little cross on it and everything. And I assumed the kid couldn't have been buried deep at all since they were so worried about him washing out of the grave. So I was just fixated on it. Kept being drawn out to the window. And then I saw the worst fucking thing in my life. Something was creeping through the trees toward the house. I stared at it for a while, but couldn't get a good look at it since it was raining and the bush was so thick. For a few minutes I assumed it was 2 really pale horses, kind of ambling through the woods side by side. Then it walked into the moonlight, and I saw it was all one thing, like a kind of human torso but wider. It finally stepped into full view, and I saw it had something like 6 legs, kind of somewhere between a beetle's legs and a horse's legs. 2 arms, right where some would normally have them, but they were about a half a foot longer than any normal man's arms. It had a bald head, but the head looked some kind of fucking bizarre masquerade ball kind of mask. This fucking clenched up, furrowed forehead, and a nose that looked like a crow's or a raven's beak. It didn't have eyes either, just like the depressions where eyes would go. It looked like it had a human mouth underneath its proboscis. What still strikes me to this day is that it seemed to have a penis, like right on the abdomen, where a normal person's dick would be. this thing moved sort of gracefully. It made these thumping noises when it moved. It must have been like 7-8 feet tall, but it sounded like it weighed only maybe just 150 pounds at most. It started walking towards Thomas's grave, and then I finally snap out of whatever trance I was in and just screamed. My mum is the first one to wake up, and I tell her to look out the window. She rushes over, doesn't seem to really understand what she's looking at. After a minute though, the thing bends down and starts pawing at the grave with its hands. My dad and Jasper rush in, and Jasper just fucking loses his shit, screaming like a little girl, running out of the room, yelling for his father, yelling, "It's outside, it came, it's outside." I look back and see the thing furiously digging at the ground, kicking up huge mounds of dirt. I hear these feet running around the house. I think they were looking for a shotgun. The thing reaches into the hole and grabs what I assume was Thomas's body by the leg on one hand. The thing kind of gallops back into the woods, snapping all these branches and shit, and then that's when we hear it. A kid crying, the sound of a child sobbing and crying, from the direction the thing took off in. We left as soon as the rain let up at 5 a.m. I don't even think we told anyone at the house. Drove straight back to Ranson, only stopping for gas. No one said a word to each other. My family refuses to speak about what happened. I tried to bring it up once, just to make sure it was real. My dad told me to shut the fuck up. So I did. I typed this about 3 weeks before it happened, but saved it to a notepad file and left it alone. Never mentioned it to any of my friends or anything. Just tried to erase it from my mind by getting absolutely fucked up drunk whenever my thoughts lingered on it. It mostly worked. Up until yesterday. See, I work at this gas station in Ranson. From 8 p.m. to 3 a.m. I work the register, keep the place clean, and take out the trash. Yesterday, when I was bringing trash bags over to the back of the building for the dude in the morning to take care of, I heard what I had assumed to be some junkie fucking around in the dumpster. I yelled at whoever it was a couple of times to get the hell out before I called the cops. But as I walked towards the source of the noise, I suddenly heard those same footsteps. That soft thump thump. Hooves or feet, whatever the hell they are. I turned right around, went back into the store and hid behind the counter. I looked over the outside the security monitor and see some kind of movement from just our screen. That soft thump thump, hooves or feet, whatever the hell they were. I turned right around and went back into the store and hid behind the counter. I look over at the outside security monitor and see some kind of movement from just off screen, something huge, casting a shadow and moving. Catch a glimpse of, I don't know, an elbow or something, a pale limb, darting in and out of view. It had to be the same thing. I waited for it to leave, and after a while it did. I worked behind the counter at 6 a.m. this morning to my manager giving me this fucking look like I'm a drug addict or something. I went home, and I typed the rest of this up, and that's about it. Alright. This is what I call the six-legged rape centaur. Well, that's what it's officially called. But, you know, This story was nice. It's spooky. At least I hope I did it some justice. Oh well. Anyway, moving on. I'm trying to go on to more obscure stories, try and give them some light. So, yeah. I'm not going to go cover Jeff the Killer because that's already been covered like 1,000 times, but, you know, hey. Live or let die, you know. But, you'll probably see me doing stuff like green texts, SCP articles. Maybe I'll even review some spooky videos. But I might also do some collaborations. But, you know, it's not really something you should be looking forward to actually, because these are all just distant ideas. But I won't stop uploading. Making these videos is fun, you know? I like it. It's nice just seeing a well-crafted video pop up into view and knowing that that video was mine. Am I being egotistical? Maybe, but today is a good day. And you know what? I thought I might give you guys something. So here you go. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll probably make more if you guys like it.